You're listening to Me and Paranormal You with your host, Ryan Singer. It's more fun to believe. Third year bonus. Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to another third-year bonus of Me and Paranormal You, another episode of the Mindcast, the podcast, where I'm going to dive in. I'm Ryan Singer, by the way. In case this is the first time listening, welcome. We are glad that you found us. This is, and by us, I mean, there's many different voices in my head. There's many different people listening to the program. We all gather here at the watering hole on the astral plane and talk about all things esoteric, paranormal, supernatural, mystical, and sometimes comedy. I just whatever we feel like talking about, but also under the umbrella of, it's probably going to tie into ghosts, aliens, or cryptids in some way. This is exciting because this is my first episode that I'm recording from the watering hole. I think that's what I'm going to call this space, the watering hole in the astral plane. This is a studio space that my buddy Kyle Ayers, who has been on the show before and has an incredible podcast called Never Seen It, which, if you've never listened to that and you love movies, that is the best podcast for movie lovers. I've been on there a bunch. You write scripts for a television show or a movie, typically, that you've never seen, and then a bunch of people get together and you read it and you have a really good time. Then you play trivia games, things like that. It's an incredible podcast. It's Never Seen It is the name of it. And so Kyle and I decided to be grown-ups and have our own studio space. So I'm happy as a 46-year-old man to finally have an office, my first office. I mean, I've got 2 LLCs now. I mean, I might as well have an office, right? So thank you for listening to the Mindcast from the watering hole on the astral plane. We are, it's always, when you have a paranormal show, you have to have west of the Rockies, somewhere near Golden, Colorado, whether you have a paranormal show or you're making, light beer for the masses. You have to have some kind of designation of a location that is somewhat mysterious. R.I.P. Art Bell. I mean, God, is there a day go by? Is there a day go by we don't make Art Bell? Is there a day? Is there a day that goes by where we don't miss the grandfather of paranormal radio? I'm drinking coffee at like 9:30 at night, so I'm on one right now. Art Bell, thank you for everything you did. Thank you for inspiring wonder and for engaging our curiosities about the things that are otherworldly, magical, and of fairy tales to so many of us before we have an experience. I've had multiple experiences with unexplainable phenomena. I want to do something. I'm going to put this call out because I want to do something this summer. I want to have a theme this summer. I want to do a short series. I want to do a theme. I'm going to be doing a lot of touring this summer, doing stand-up comedy. So please look for me on the road, ryansingercomedy.com/tour. You can see those dates. A lot of the Midwest and then a lot of the Southeast, hopefully. And then I'll be doing Central Northern California. I'll be headlining the San Francisco Punchline for the first time in September. That's a Tuesday night. So I hope all my San Francisco friends can come out. I'll be in Eureka, California. That's in June, just in like 2 months. Anyway, all the dates are there. But I want to do a series this summer. I'm thinking about calling it the Me and Paranormal You presents a Shapeshifter Summer, where most of the episodes are going to be focused on the supernatural phenomena or the paranormal phenomena of shapeshifting and shapeshifters and those who have experienced it and potentially, if I'm lucky enough, those who, experience the phenomena directly. I had someone reach out to me not too long ago. I've had, over the years, I know this is a topic that is fascinating to a good amount of people, and myself included, for obvious reasons, because I've witnessed it happen. And I've had multiple people over the years. I had someone come up to me after a comedy show once and be like, "Are you the guy who witnessed someone shapeshift?" I had that. And then we exchange information, and then I lose contact with the guy. And then someone else reached out to me recently about something like along the same lines, and not for public consumption, but I'm trying to compile information, and I'm trying to gather evidence and stories, just so, potentially without anyone's identity ever being revealed, because this is still one of those things where people don't need to be known as this, and I 100% understand that. And I would never put someone in a position where they could be exposed for something they don't want to be exposed for when it comes to paranormal phenomena. That's not what this is about. This is a show where I'm talking to anyone who has a paranormal story to tell. And oh shucks, I forgot it. And I right before I got to the watering hole tonight, I noticed I had a surprise package from my new buddy Frank over at Curio Arcanum in Austin, Texas, the Curiosities and Oddities store. And I can't wait to dig into that package. Thank you, Frank. Just in case you're listening, thank you for sending that over. I can't wait to dig in, and I'll show pictures and all that as well. I should just get him on the phone tomorrow and try to book a couple shows in Austin, Texas, as I head east this summer. I don't know why I'm not doing that. I just go through Texas first, and then boom, head up to the Midwest, and then go from there. God, I love Austin. Miss that city. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, I want it to be a shapeshifter summer. I want a shapeshifter summer to happen. So I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to have a shapeshifter summer. I'm going to do my damnedest to, try to line up some conversations and some new evidence or new information for us regarding the phenomenon of shapeshifting. And by new, I mean hopefully ancient and very old, as well as, I mean, shapeshifting is it's not, it is in the Epic of Gilgamesh, which, by the way, ties into what I want to talk about today. Well, there's multiple things I want to get into today. Big news coming from uh, the paranormal investigation side of my life, headed to Mount Shasta with Eric Connor from Epic Paranormal. We're heading up there in a few weeks. We've got a house. We're going to be up there for, I think, a solid 4, if not 4.5, 5 days. Continuing the investigation that started at Post Town Elementary School that I'm calling the Bridge. And very, very excited about getting up there. I'm going to try, if at all possible, to line up an interview and at the very least visit the St. Germain Foundation. Um, the I didn't bring up any of my tabs because I'm trying to be not just looking at my computer as I'm talking this whole time. Um, very stream of consciousness. I mean, 30-year bonuses are like this. They just I just hit record, and then an hour later we're done, or 30 minutes later we're done. It depends. So I think that's what I'm excited about, having the studio space, the watering hole. I mean, I'm going to get back to doing 2 episodes a week. Bet your bottom dollar, if not more. Who knows? Maybe I'll just go, because there's nobody here at this place at night. So why don't I just start doing my own like late night paranormal radio show? Do I really want to be up till 3 in the morning, creeping myself out? There's a haunted painting in here, by the way. And we can talk about that later. It's not mine. I would never go out of my way to procure a painting that is allegedly haunted, purportedly. Oh, so we're going to Mount Shasta to continue the bridge investigation, and also just to enjoy the beautiful wonder that is Mount Shasta and the magical vortex there. And, if we're lucky, stumble into some Lemurians potentially. I don't anticipate stumbling into Saint Germain, hiking the slopes of Mount Shasta, as was reported by, oh God, I don't have any of my notes here. I'm just trying to do this, fresh off memory, because I was in a deep rabbit hole last night on a lot of this stuff. But Saint Germain, this is where it gets interesting, and this is where it's fun. I want to go to the Saint Germain, their headquarters there, the Saint Germain Foundation, the printing press, and God, what are they calling them? The I Am movement, or the I Am teachings of Saint Germain, and it's a husband and his wife. I think they both have passed on from this physical form, but they got a lot of information from Saint Germain. Now there's 20 volumes of books. Now, side note, Saint Germain, according to some people, and I believe I gotta bring this up. Why do I even have the internet here if I'm not using it, right? I'm doing a disservice to myself and others um, by not just looking up so I can remember this guy's name. Um, oh wow. Oh yeah, here he is. Saint Germain. Very beautiful, very beautiful. Saint Germain Foundation. Yes, here we go. Um, they have a headquarters in Shasta Springs, and I'd love to at least get up there and tour the grounds. Um, if not Mr. and Mrs. Ballard. I think it's Gus Ballard, um, specifically. Um, if we go to how it all began, let's do that directly from the website here. Saint Germain is an ascended master. You might recognize this name from being used by people like HPB, Helena Blavatsky, and others when writing about, channeling or having source to ultimate knowledge of the universe and the creators of the universe and the great mysteries of life. This is a quote, in the various retreats of the Great White Brotherhood which we visited, I was shown the tremendous work they do for mankind through their messengers who are sent into the outer world. Now, just as extra clarification, the Great White Brotherhood is in no way referencing race or ethnicity or, cultural origin. Okay, it's like think of like the White Lodge. It's just it's a term. It's not indicating skin color in any way. Another quote from Godfrey Ray King, which is interesting. That Ballard chose this name, and I'll talk about that in a second. The good they constantly pour out into this earth and its humanity is beyond any power of words to describe. This is from Dr. Uh, wait, Mr. and Mrs. Ballard. I thought this was Dr. No, no, no. I'm thinking of the Aetherians, Aetherius Society. Okay, so that's why I got confused because of King. Now, Godfrey Ray King is the name that Ballard used as his pen name. Okay, when writing, the 20 volumes, right? Now there's this interesting thing about these ascended masters, and you can go down these rabbit holes, and they will take you from one rabbit hole to another. Then you have your thriftbooks.com account up on your website, on your computer, on your website with your type with the keys. You order goods and services. Oh my gosh, right? As I grow older, I become exactly the thing I used to satirize. Now, I'm ordering books like constantly from thrift books because I need all these old books, and some of them are like out of print, and you have to be on a waiting list. And now you're like, I'm spending $60 on this book, and you're like, oh, I got to get a hardcover because the paperback's going to be tattered. Right? Oh, there's a Denny's a block from here that I'm probably going to go to after this. I can't wait because I'm a diner guy. I'm a diner guy. Well, I don't know. Diner Dan showed up. I don't know who Diner Dan is. He's a new character. We're going to have to deal with Diner Dan later. So what we're dealing with here is the Saint Germain Foundation. I want to go and interview somebody over there who's willing to talk, for like, publicity outreach and things like that, because there's no way I'm going to Mount Shasta and not talking to somebody at the St. Germain Foundation. Now, they're based out of Schaumburg, Illinois, which is a suburb of Chicago where I have been. I haven't been to the foundation. I have been to Schaumburg. There's a improv comedy club in Schaumburg that's way too big. It's got like 600 seats in it. So you perform there, and if it's not sold out, you feel like you've made all the wrong choices in your career. Now, I have friends who sell out arenas. I do not. I'm hoping to sell 50 fucking tickets when I go to anywhere USA. So maybe because I spend most of my free time going down Saint Germain rabbit holes and um, I don't know, not politicking or playing the Hollywood game. Nonetheless, here we are. I wouldn't have this life any other way. Now, what I want to get into is Dr. George King, because a friend of mine who I recently ran into, I hadn't seen her in a while, reminded me of Mel's Hole. If you're not familiar with Mel's Hole, it's this mysterious hole that apparently has no bottom. All right, it's kind of a secret location. Now, I believe that the legend of Mel's Hole is the inspiration for the television show The Outer Range. There's a third-year bonus I did a while back, last year, where I interviewed the hole from The Outer Range as a fun thing to do on third-year bonus. Now, The Outer Range, starring Josh Brolin and others, wonderful Amazon Prime TV show about the supernatural. Loved it. Really enjoyed the programming. Really enjoyed the programming. I was hoping someone would explain to me in my TV guide, each episode summarized. God, here we are, still getting older, right in front of ourselves. See, that's the thing about like doing this, because I'm now going to be putting out video for every episode. This is not the final setup, by the way. We're having like, a real camera set up in here. So I'm actually going to be moving into last century. Maybe at some point I'll be in this century when it comes to the podcast. But we're going to have all kinds of cameras set up. It's going to be great for when I have in studio guests as opposed to all through Zoom. Now, Mel's Hole. So I run into my friend doing a show last week. I remember this Mel's Hole thing that we were trying to, get to the bottom of. Okay. I think she'll be a guest on the show hopefully very soon. Because there's other interesting things. Because then she turns me on to the Aetherius Society. And they are started by Dr. George King, right? So, that actually, or Gerald King. Oh, I got to look this up. What am I doing over here? Not having this up in advance. I just got so excited to record. Aetherius.org. That's the website you can go to. AETHERIUS society.org or Aetherius.org. So if you just go to the about there, you can find out everything. It's George King. I was right. So George King, right? Jesus is an alien. All these other prophets were aliens, right? That's kind of the vibe. We'll get into that more at some point in the future because I started going down a rabbit hole on the Aetherius Society. Then I started watching one of their pageants on video that's 4.5 hours long. And I'm like, it's already 1:30 in the morning. What am I doing? I'm not going to watch the pageant of Jesus performed by these people in the Aetherius Society outside under the beautiful, or no. The Aetherius Society didn't do the pageant. God, I'm confusing them. Excuse me. This is the problem in the world of the spiritual, supernatural, paranormal, etc. Some of these things, they bleed into each other. I believe it is Saint Germain Foundation does the pageant. I almost got sucked into a 4-hour video of the pageant of Jesus or something from the Saint Germain Foundation, not the Aetherius Society. Now, Aetherius, they have something called King Yoga, which is named in homage to Dr. George King. George King could like get in charge. You get charged up on like Mount Shasta, right? So there is a Mount Shasta connection here. Mount Shasta is one of, I think, 19 holy mountains or something that they have. And let me just kind of give you their mission here. If you are a genuine seeker searching for truth, you can change the world and open the door of enlightenment through King Yoga. King Yoga is the name we have given to the spiritual path of the Aetherius Society. The Aetherius Society was started in 1955 by Master of Yoga, Dr. George King, to spread and act upon unique cosmic teachings given to Earth by highly evolved alien intelligences we refer to as the Cosmic Masters. Now, they've got more there, but I'm not gonna read that. You can go read the website yourself if you're interested. Cosmic Masters, Ascended Masters, right? Channeling Source, right? There's a theme, there's a connective tissue between all of these things. And I just thought it was interesting that his name just happened to be Dr. George King. Ballard chooses the pen name with the last name King, and his wife as well. Um, and because there's connotations, the King of Kings is Jesus, right? Or he's referred to often in Christianity as the King of Kings, if I'm not mistaken. We just had Easter and Passover for all those Christian type folks out there, which means candy was on sale last week. And I'm staring at a $10 bag of candy that in no way, shape, or form should be in this studio with me when I'm alone. Nonetheless, there's just these connections. Mount Shasta is something that ties them together. The name King, it's an interesting thing. But I don't think we can just assume that these coincidences are meaningless. In fact, they might be a synchronicity from time to time. And I don't want to put too much importance on the little things, but because it ties into what I want to talk about as well when it comes to reading George K. Temple's book, The Serious Mystery, which I've been, you know, it's a tough book for me to read because I got a paperback version and the print is so tiny. The print's like, those paperback books where the print is super tiny. There's only one book I have read that has tinier print than this particular, issue that I have. And that is Walden by Thoreau. And I read that during the pandemic because what better time to read about an isolation situation, a classic tome about isolation than than when we were forced into a lockdown. But I'm going to talk a little bit about Sirius, and we're going to get into like why are we going to Mount Shasta? Why are Eric Connor and I going to Mount Shasta at all? What does it have to do with Poasttown Elementary School? So we're going to talk about that as soon as we take a quick break. And so I want to remind you, you can go to patreon.com/Ryan Singer, and you can get all of these episodes without commercials. I haven't had a chance to go through the backlog of all of the episodes yet, but at some point I'm just going to try to upload all of the episodes somewhere and then some kind of directory or something of some kind. And then, maybe you can have a link to that and you can just go listen to any episode or download any episode. I I should probably just make a Dropbox file with every single episode that it's ever been made, which is 682, not counting this one. But that seems like a lot. That seems like I got a lot going on, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that. Patreon.com/Ryan Singer. You don't have to worry about it. There's no commercials. And we're back. So, and if you didn't hear your commercial, then we never left. So why are we going to Mount Shasta? Well, I'll tell you why we're going to Mount Shasta, because during the bridge in the investigation, 2 episodes are on my YouTube page now. I will be releasing episodes 3 through 5 at some point in the very near future, because there is no way in hell that I'm going to be even thinking about editing together additional episodes for the bridge, the investigation series, or maybe we'll call it season 2, when I don't even have season 1 done yet. And so I don't want the weight of all of that just crushing me and my spirits. So those will be coming very soon. Episode 3 is already in the can. I just haven't released it yet. Episode 4 is very close to being in the can. And just some final touches, a couple little interviews I need to throw in there, and then score it. And once I put the music on there, and episode 4 will be in the can. And then we move on to the final episode of season 1 of The Bridge, which I can't wait to get to that episode. I'm telling you, it's for me, it was really some mind-blowing stuff that has led us to going to the beautiful, wonderful place known as Mount Shasta, California. Now, Mount Shasta, California is the home of Mount Shasta, which is considered to be an energy vortex. There's lots of Christian cults hiding up in the woods, up in the mountains there, according to a friend of mine who's spent some time, or his mother lives there. Anyway, he's been on the show before. He'll be on the show again very soon. My buddy Aaron Weaver very hilarious comedian friend of mine. Love Aaron. I can't wait to have him back on the show. Now, Mount Shasta is this really awesome place. I've only been there once. It was magical when I went there. I'm going a little later in the year this time. Hopefully, there won't be nearly as much snow, although this year has been insane. So I haven't even considered that now that I'm saying it out loud. But we're going in the month of May. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get around the mountain a little bit. Nonetheless, we got a whole house. So we're going to be doing some paranormal we're going to be doing some outreach, some communication outreach techniques to try to continue a conversation that has started at Poasttown Elementary School. Let me give you the synopsis real quick, just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about. I filmed a 1 hour comedy special about a year and a half ago. It's now out on YouTube. Search The Supernatural Ryan Singer. You'll find it. Please share it, spread it around. Very proud of it. I think it's great. It's beautiful. Stephen Fine Arts was the director. He's done so much great stuff. He did the Bitter Buddha, the Eddie Pepitone documentary. He just, he directed the Mark Maron HBO comedy special that just came out a couple months ago. Stephen Fine Arts is amazing, and we were so happy to have him direct in this weird ass location. It was really fucking rad. So, but the 2 nights before the special, me and a team of friends, we did some paranormal investigating, and I wanted to use CE5 protocols, a variation of Dr. Stephen Greer's alien contact initiation techniques that focus on like a meditative state, to try to stir up some activity inside the school to see what paranormal phenomena, see what kind of ghosts or whatever we could get in contact using the CE5 techniques, because I believe it's all connected through consciousness. And I don't believe that there's really a big difference between what kind of technique you're using when trying to interact with paranormal phenomena. And I'm convinced of that, quite frankly, at this point. And so we did CE5, and then things really popped off. Things went wild. It turns out we may have, I don't want to give away too much without, I don't want you to not watch the series that I'm very proud of, because I've been working my fucking ass off on it. But, and I think each episode gets a little bit better than the last one as I learn more and more editing techniques and things like that. But we've got a conversation going with something that is otherworldly. And, and after my last trip, I think I've been to Poasttown to investigate now 5 times, 4 or 5 times. And after my last trip, I 100% fully understood that I no longer needed to be at Poasttown Elementary School to continue the conversation that had begun in October 2021. The opening salve, even though we're not at war, happened. The opening of the conversation happened in October of 2021. Now, the interesting thing about September is sept, the word sept, its origins and where it comes from, and I'm trying to remember it as I read it late in the early morning hours of last night. But the connection to Sumerian and Egyptian language and meaning. Sept means Sirius. So I really feel like I need to, and Sirius as in, the star, which ties into, which is interesting because as a comedian, I so much of my livelihood ties into Sirius satellite radio, Sirius XM satellite radio, and royalties, right? The Dog Star. There's a website called Dog Star something where you can go check your royalties. It's just, it's like everything in my life is pointing me to Sirius now, in the Dog Star. So I need to get there in September. I need to go back in September or something. I gotta, so we're gonna see about making it happen. I think it is. I think, let's see how this first trip goes. Point is, the conversation no longer needs to take place at Poasttown Elementary School, which is something that just kind of like washed over me while I was at Poasttown. And that's not to say that being at Poasttown doesn't just really get me charged up and juiced, because it is always an amazing time going to Poasttown and investigating there. Now, I have a feeling that Mount Shasta is going to take this thing to another level. The difficulty becomes, how do you continue a conversation, right? And how do you know the right things to ask? Because early indications for me are that you will get the answer, not the answer you're looking for, not in that kind of way, but you will receive an answer from this thing, this intelligence that we've been lucky enough to open a conversation with, that has let us know that it's still there. The line has been open this whole time. I mean, not in a way it's like where you, if you don't close it, something's going to follow you home. Not like that, but meaning it's willing to take our call whenever we call, right? So that's the sense I get, at least for now. So when asking the correct questions, I do receive answers. And some of that you'll be able to see in the documentary series. But specifically, what I mean is when asking the correct question, um, it does get answered, meaning it'll move the conversation forward. So it's it's almost as if there's a strategy involved when dealing with something that's clearly more intelligent than I am and clearly has capabilities far beyond what I'm capable of communication wise, at least at this time. Right? That's not to say that I won't, become a Freemason or a Rosicrucian and meet Saint Germain on the slopes of Mount Shasta next month. But it's important for me to know how, first of all, ask the question. And secondly, and equally important, know what that question should be to keep the conversation moving forward. And I don't just mean, what do you want to tell us? What's your message for us? I don't mean that. That's, I feel like that question is, I feel like that question's too obvious. Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. I feel like that question is way too obvious. That what do you want to tell us? It's too open ended. It's too obvious. It's been asked too many times already. There's something else at play here. I don't want to say something more specific. Um, but possibly so. Hmm. God, it's making me think now. Now I'm like, ooh, I'm getting chilled up over here. Hmm. Um, I don't know if you can see it because I'm blasted out by this ring light, but we got to figure out the lights in here. But it's got to be something more specific. And I have an idea. I've got lots of ideas, but the one idea that I've really been trying to wrap my brain around in some kind of form or fashion is having a philosopher's stone device, um, a technique, a device specifically that correlates something to language, something to specific words, something to letters, etc. Is it music? I think it might be. I think it's music. I am not smart enough or an engineer or a musical genius or something like that, or a gadget or a Mr. Gadget to where I figured out exactly what I mean by this. But I do know that it's something that I've been thinking about for at least a year and a half now. Since 2021, I've been trying to figure this out and wrap my brain around it. I want to figure out how to use music, how to use dreams, specifically the dreams throughout history that have led to scientific breakthroughs are a fascinating topic, and people around the world are interested and engaged by these dreams, and the stories of them I think intrigue and excite all of us when it comes to the famous ones, right? And as interesting, intriguing, and exciting as these dreams are because of the results that they led to, the one thing that most people aren't discussing when talking about the phenomena of informational downloads during dreams, or whatever you want to call them, the transference of knowledge through the dreamscape, is just that. It is, where is this information coming from? Who's sending it? And obviously, we're an open receiver while we're dreaming. What is it about the state of dreaming? Is it the, what is it, theta, or what is it, the our brain waves? What state, at what level or vibration or whatever's happening, what phase of sleeping do our minds become open receivers for information? So I think I'm just now thinking about how to do this on the spot in the moment right now, and I'm very excited. Here's what we do. We set an intention to be receiving information during dreams, right? Okay. Okay, here we go. So we set an intention. I'm going to write some of this down while I'm jibber jabbering. We set intentions for informational transfers or knowledge downloads um, during dreams, during sleep, I should say, right? But they have to come to us in the form of a dream. You need to have a dream journal. You need to have a recorder. You need to have something close by. You don't want to like crack the DNA code, the strand of DNA, or the molecular makeup of DNA, and wake up and be like, oh, I should have said something. I should have wrote it down. Now I forget. You know, Paul McCartney forgets yesterday. That song doesn't exist, right? Neil Bohr's, Nikola Tesla. So we need to set an intention for information transfer during our dreams. And then you probably can't drink NyQuil. You probably can't be all drunk the night before. You probably want to be in like a equilibrium of, you want your body to be in, homeostasis, or what if or alkaline, as alkaline as possible, maybe. I don't know. Was Paul McCartney not drinking or smoking weed or doing it doesn't matter. I just have to finish writing this down during dreams. Okay. And then we got to take notes. And does it matter? Holy shit. Sorry, I had to drink some more coffee because I'm not juiced up enough as it is thinking about this. So we set the intention for information transfers during dreams, dream downloads. Maybe we'll call them dream downloads. And before bed, I'm figuring this all out right now. So before bed, we set an intention for dream downloads. We do through a meditation where we visualize receiving information from the universe. We are receiving messages, we are receiving instructions, we are receiving blueprints, whatever it is that I guess you're interested in. Me specifically, I will be interested in how am I going to directly or more directly communicate with the otherworldly, the intelligence that I've already started a conversation with at Postown Elementary School while I'm at Mount Shasta. And part of me believes that the dream downloads will probably be, I'll have a high chance of success potentially in Mount Shasta, considering it's an energy vortex, finding these places that are, known to have, oh God, the Dream Chamber in Florida. On the property in Florida, one of the bedrooms is called the Dream Chamber because people have the craziest dreams. I got to sleep in the Dream Chamber. Okay. So it's neither here nor there. I mean, it's there, but not right now, this moment. But it is something that's going to happen. I've said it out loud. It's going to have to happen now. So the point is, okay, so here's what we do. And by we, I mean, this is what I'm going to try to do, I suppose. I'm going to try to set the intention. I'm going to work on coming up with intuitively, I'll just come up with a meditation that seems to be in sync and lines up with my intention here. And we will see what information we get. And we'll see if we can start getting dream downloads, and specifically at Mount Shasta. Um, Although I don't want to close myself off to being able to get these dream downloads anywhere. I suppose I could follow. My buddy Kyle fell asleep right at his desk earlier. While I fell asleep, well, I fell asleep watching baseball today. I took a nap at like 6 p.m. It's like who's napping from 6 to 7:30 p.m. I'm in trouble tonight. I got to be up early. I'm in trouble. I'm drinking coffee at 9:30, and I'm like, oh, you think it's because of the nap? Why are you up till 4 in the morning? Maybe because you drank coffee at 10 o'clock. Speaking of which, I do it for you, though. I do it for you, the listener. We have discovered something here tonight. I think we've stumbled upon a potentiality, a possibility of the dream download. Do a meditation, set the intention, and see what you get. Have a journal or a recorder close by to see what we get. But have a very specific idea of what you're looking for, or don't, or maybe have a general idea. I'm going to have a very specific idea about what is the best way for me to communicate? What is the best way for me to have a more direct understanding of what is being said? And also help me out in understanding how to be asking questions and how to be communicating. And maybe the key isn't looking for something, right? And what I mean by that is looking for them to give me something, being greedy in that way. Maybe, God, I tell friends this all the time about synchronicities. It's like, it's like the universe showed up at your door with a cake, and this beautiful, delicious cake. And even though I don't like cake, you know, ice cream cake for me, it'd be ice cream cake. But and instead of enjoying the cake that the universe brought, now we're like, what's in the cake? How was the cake made? What's the ingredients of the cake? What does the cake mean? Why are you bringing a cake? And it's like, oh, we don't. Maybe sometimes it's just to enjoy cake, right? Just the feeling you get when you're enjoying cake, and and maybe that's what this is. Fuck. Maybe. Oh, I don't even want to. Yeah. Eh. When I make these noises that I'm making right now, it's because I feel like my intuition is like ringing a bell, like ding, 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 ding. Shit. Because I'm a seeker. I want answers. I want to know why. God damn. Son of a biscuit eating bastard hound. Maybe the point of having communication and establishing contact is nothing more than just understanding that there is something outside of ourselves, something, I don't want to say bigger because of the connotations that come with it, or more advanced for the same reasons, but there is something other than self. Right? So maybe the point of the conversations that we've had and we've started and we will continue in Mount Shasta that began in Post-Town aren't about tell us the secrets to the universe or tell us the meaning of life, other than just being like, hey, how you doing? Are we buddies? Checking in with friends, our intergalactic friends in the sky, as Greg Feynman would refer to them. Maybe the point of the conversation is just to be having the conversation, to understand that we are not alone, that we are not these singular entities in charge of the earth, the top of the food pyramid in the universe when it comes to being super sassy about how smart we are, right? Especially in relation to all these other dumb idiots when it comes to the animals and creatures on the earth. Maybe we got to just stop being so super sassy on top of the pyramid, because we'll lose our balance and fall off. And because we're looking at a flying saucer flying above us and realize, oh my gosh, maybe we're not at the top. Maybe we're just all in this together. Maybe we're looking at it in the wrong way. Now, so maybe the dream download intention should be, let's just talk, right? Get to know each other. Maybe it's more of a courting, more, or not a courting. I mean, it is romantic innuendo. Maybe it's just kind of having a conversation, And the purpose of the conversation, I know when we're depressed or when I'm depressed and I'm feeling really, really down, and there doesn't seem to be much of anything to get excited about or to be motivated to do. You know, when you're feeling like president of the Sad Boy Milkshake Club, which I did for a while after my last relationship ended. I was like, wow, they put a fucking painting of me in the Sad Boy Milkshake Club building up on the wall because I'm like, wow, this guy's such a good president. Um, Talking to other people and listening to them and, you know, lending your ear to their troubles oftentimes is the best medicine for our own troubles. So maybe we can use that, keep that in mind. Because do you think every alien just has a great life? Do you think every extraterrestrial is just killing it, super happy, no problems, no woes? Do we believe that the advanced intelligence of, an off-world being by default means that there's no such thing as heartbreak or having a bad day or being hangry? You don't hear about a hangry alien very often, do you? You don't hear about the alien who hasn't had dinner yet, who's getting a little touchy, right? Feeling a little prickly because I haven't had my coffee. I just want to see an alien walking around the streets with a shirt that says, "Don't talk to me until I've had my coffee." I mean, aliens are people too. Is that what we're saying? Aliens are people too. So we've got the dream download idea. We've got the meditation that goes hand in hand with that. I just feel like that's an integral part of the dream download experiment that we'll do. Um, I don't know if you're interested in doing the dream download experiment. I'd appreciate you reaching out to me. Um, and then I know we've done some of these things in the past where I was doing what was it, ESP projection experiments where I was, keeping notes and also trying to make very specific people reach out to me about very specific things, seeing if I could communicate those things to them telepathically. Right. And I got kind of close once with a friend of mine who I don't hear from. Maybe we talk a few times a year at the most. One of those situations, not somebody you talk to every day, but oh, my heart is beating because all the coffee I drank, and I think all the good. Oh, am I have a heart attack right now? Anyway, the I'm not having a heart attack. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I hope I didn't set off any alarm bells for anyone. Um, it's just 10 p.m. I just chugged an espresso, um, and have stumbled upon what I believe to be the greatest scientific breakthrough in history. No, that would be funny. But we did have a good one there about the alien walking around with the shirt on. Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee. Um, you know, I got to work on a holiday. Like, are there alien holidays? What are the holidays for aliens? Like, is there Transcendence Day? Like when they finally transcended to a new level of like actual self actualization? Is there like how do they celebrate Transcendence Day? Um, and are they allowed to shoot fireworks, or is there an ordinance against it? So you can't set off the fireworks that they have because they can bleed through dimensions. Now, don't talk to me till I've had my coffee. I wouldn't even know. I'm trying to figure out how to talk to you, friend. So yeah, okay. Don't EVP me until I've had my coffee. A ghost floating around. Don't EVP me till after dinner. Okay, this is we're getting pretty silly over here. So we're gonna do the dream download thing. We're gonna try to figure out how to communicate, more specifically, what to be asking to keep the conversation moving forward. I mean, as exciting as it is just to understand, to get confirmation that we are talking to something, to someone, to, that's exciting every single time. But now it's like, okay, well, what do we do now? It's like, can you imagine showing up to a coffee shop to see a friend or meet a stranger for the first time, and you sit across the table and you're like, I'm here. And they're like, I'm also here. I'm talking to you. I am also talking to you. Oh my God. Is your name so and so? Oh, my name is so and so. My name is so and so. Oh my God, we're talking? Oh, you're here? Yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm here. Oh my God, you're here. That is so cool. But you're here, right? Yeah, I am here and I'm talking to you. And this is my name. Well, this is my name and I'm talking to you. So you're here. Can you bang on the table if you're really here? I'm right in front of you. You want me to bang on the table? Okay, I'll bang on the table. But I'm here. I'm here. And you just do that every time. And then you just meet. Okay, see you again next week and we'll do the same thing. And oh, you're here? I'm here. Oh, what are we doing, right? Like, how are we moving the conversation forward? For our own sake and for our own fucking sanity and for the sanity of the people, or the things and the entities that we're trying to communicate with, maybe it's time for the next chapter, right? And I have no idea what that means. The next chapter could just be getting to know someone a little bit on a deeper level. It doesn't mean like, please give me information, please give me something, a piece of knowledge or something that will make people want to watch my videos or whatever, that kind of stuff. Like, like TV grabbers, like, so that's the trick with the bridge. And that's what Mount Shasta is about. That's what the trip to Mount Shasta is. The trip to Mount Shasta is an attempt to move the conversation forward past the, you're here? I'm here. Oh, you're here? I'm here. Can you show me you're here? Hi, I'm here. It's, we want to move past that. And now we want to get to the part of the conversation where we start to understand each other a little bit better. And that doesn't mean, making demands or hoping to get something profound or life changing. As it's like, well, it's like quid pro quo here. What are you doing? And it is interesting, though, when you hear about the Ascended Masters and the Cosmic Masters, as they were referred to by the Ethereal Society and others. It has a lot of recent theosophy. Um, I love the Theosophical Society, by the way, but um, there's always grand information being delivered, and I get it. We're not going to widespread disseminate or disseminate widely, just casual everyday conversations. When you go watch a movie or when you watch it or when you watch a book, what you do now, I guess you listen to a book. I can't believe it. You read a book. It's not, they don't waste a bunch of time in the movie showing you every time the lead character has to take a piss or drop a deuce. They don't do that, right? Or every time they need a snack or just have a boring or take a boring nap. Um, it's the moments in life that are interesting and exciting and are noteworthy for some reason that are shown. So when it comes to information being channeled from cosmic masters or from ascended masters, it would make sense that you're getting the big stuff. You're getting the exciting stuff. You're getting the answers to questions. You're getting the rules or the guidelines or the tips on how to greater benefit your life and how to potentially end up in the same spot they are occupying. I don't know, potentially, I suppose. So I'm not suggesting that I want to have an ongoing conversation with a super intelligence or an off-world entity or a dimensional being and just sit there and, and talk about baseball all day for the rest of our lives. But at the same time, I think we can temper our expectations about what we should be getting. that it needs to be profound and grand. It needs to be life-changing, altering the worldviews, right? Um, let's pump the brakes a little bit here and maybe try to have a normal ramp up of conversation. Potentially, is that the way to go? And I don't know. I'm not saying you should approach every paranormal investigation like a first date, but I mean, because oh god, does that mean we got to eat something? I never understood that about first dates or like dating. It's like because if you go to a restaurant, and I have this problem where if I'm in a restaurant, if I'm out in public eating, I just can't help but notice everybody else eating, which, which I know sounds stupid, but I just can't help but notice everybody else eating, like shoving food into their mouth. It's kind of a disgusting thing because not everybody cares to eat in a non-disgusting way, even in public. Some people are wood chippers. I got a buddy who's a wood chipper. It's just flakes and crumbs and everything just flying everywhere. It's like watching Fargo, watching them eat. And then you got other people who are just like they're drippers. You got the wood chippers. You got the drippers. They squeeze too hard, right? You got sauces on there, man. Stop squeezing so hard. You know what I mean? Like a teenager feeling a boob for the first time. It's like, hey, you trying to remove the breast from the body? It's like, take it easy. Well, because as a 16-year-old kid, you just never know if you're gonna ever have the opportunity again. So you're just like, I gotta remember this. You're just like, fuck, dude, you're such an idiot. Anyway, didn't mean to go there with that, but so you got your drippers, you got your squeezers, you got your wood chippers, and then you just got your wide mouth bass. I mean, just chomping. I don't know what should we call those. Your, you know, just your garbage disposals. Just I'm sorry if you're watching the video of this. That was kind of a disgusting visual I did. But so why are we doing that on dates? Why do people do that? Why do people do that? Yeah. Okay. Where's Diner Dan? You ready to go to Denny's and be a wood chipper? I was like, Diner Dan's a wood chipper. Like all my different personalities have different styles in the way they eat. Diner Dan is a wood chipper. Give me some sourdough bread, extra crispy. Just flaking and flying, baby. Flaking and flying with Diner Dan, the new podcast. Okay, so, well, this is going to do it. I'm out of here. RyanSingerComedy.com. Heading to Mount Shasta very soon. Reach out to me. Let me know if you're going to do the dream download thing. I'd be interested to know what your techniques and what results, and then maybe we'll have you on the program and we can discuss. Find me on Instagram at Rysing, Rysing. Give me a follow over there, please. I'm on TikTok too, Ryan Singer Comedy. Give me a follow over there if you like videos. I'm going to be posting paranormal stuff on both, as well as stand-up comedy. Yeah, patreon.com/Ryan Singer. All episodes ad-free. I love you. I hope you love yourself. I love the new space, the watering hole here at the astral plane. Bigger and better and upward and onward. We're going to be supercharging Patreon content now that we have an actual studio space and I have a workspace where I can go 24 hours a day. I can come here and get work done. So I'm going to be amping up my character videos. We're going to have some more Trip Coltrane. I got Shungai Tony coming down the pipe. You don't know who that is yet, but I think you're going to like Shungai Tony. And his buddy Rose Quartz. So what else is happening? Okay, yeah. Check the website for tour dates. I love you. I hope you love yourself. I think I said that, but it bears repeating. You're the only person who can give yourself unconditional love, so why not do it? You deserve it. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all the patrons. $3 a month gets you ad-free plus other stuff. I mean, episode 3 from The Bridge is already over there, by the way. Just saying. Exclusivity over there. Capitalism is alive and well. And I hope to see you soon. But if I don't, I'll see you at the watering hole on the astral plane.